Hi guys, it's Stacy and welcome to my channel. Today I have a Saturday morning makes card for you. It's got these cute little dinosaurs from Tracey Hey. Saturday Morning Makes is an open collab hosted by Jill Norwood. Hi Jill, if you're watching. I'm going to link Jill's channel and how you can enter below. It's really simple. It's hashtag driven. It's an open collab. Use it to post on any social media, and you can also use it to search up to see what other people are doing. It's a lot of fun. It gets you creating. You get inspired by everything that's out there. And I have been just enjoying being part of this community and seeing what all these wonderful ladies are making, and gentlemen too. There's a couple of them out there. I show a couple of different paste here, but I ended up going with the Hero Arts glitter paste instead of the Snowfall. Because they are different. One's a little bit more textured, which that's Tim Holtz's Distress Snowfall grit paste, and the Hero Arts is a bit more smooth, so I just went with that one. And then I'm using this MFT stencil. It's like a watercolor background stencil, and I'm using my Distress Oxides, and I'm going to do a 3-color blend here. And I prefer the sponges over the brushes because the brushes seem to kind of cake up to me. That could be me, user error. So use what you've got. If you're more comfortable with brushes, use those. And what I do is I lay down the first color, then I go in with the second color, and then I work that second color over the first color, and then I go back with the first color and work it back, and I do it as many times as it needs to be. And then when I go in with the third color, same thing, back and forth until I'm happy with the blend. And if you're not quite happy, know that they'll smooth out a tiny bit. They don't sink into the paper because they're oxides like some of the hybrid inks that are out there today, but they will blend and they will like even out a bit as they dry. And know that anytime you see a blend on camera, it typically is not is good. It looks better in person. For some reason, when ink blending's done on camera, it can look splotchy. So what I did was I cleaned up that stencil, then I went back, put that watercolor stencil back over. I think it's called something like that. I'll link them below. I don't know if MFT still has them. And then I used that heart stencil from MFT and I laid it on top. So basically what that did was work as a mask, the original stencil as a mask, and then I put the glitter paste through the other stencil, that floating heart stencil. And there I was showing you, and I put that puppy up, way up, because I knew I was going to bump into it and it was going to get ruined. So put it up. It takes a little while to dry. I'm using Arteza brush pens today. I'm using Strathmore Bristol Smooth paper because I found that that's what works best for it. They don't seem to blend as well on watercolor cardstock or multimedia cardstock. Use what you've got, give it a try. Maybe it works different for you. Maybe you have different techniques. I use a water brush pen there, and I only use a little bit of water because this paper is not watercolor paper, but it can handle some water. I am stamping with VersaFine Black Onyx ink. It is a pigment ink, so you can heat emboss it, and that's what I'm going to do. I used an embossing tool over the top of it to keep any stray embossing powder from sticking. And then I have some Poly Sparkle clear embossing powder. Use what you've got. I wanted the little sparkles in the powder so that it picked up with the glitter in the hearts. So I'm just going to heat emboss that embossing powder on these little guys. And then I'm going to get to coloring. And when I color, I put up the colors in the top of the screen if you're interested in the colors I used. And I like to do swatch charts, and that's on Bristol Smooth cardstock, that Strathmore, because I want to swatch it on what I'm going to use because it's going to look different on whatever paper you use. So my grandson calls dinosaurs rars. And you're going to have a little clip coming up here. I'm going to be quiet and you tell me what it is. So cute. Isn't it sweet? Oh my goodness, it's so sweet. I love, he calls his dinosaurs rars. And he has big roars, little roars, and he'll do roars at different volumes or roars, depending on the size. I'm going to go ahead and play it again because I think it's just the cutest little thing. His mom had sent me a video of him playing with his dinosaurs, and I clipped that out of that video. So cute. So if you stuck around for those roars, what I would like to do, you have to be US based, you have to be 18 years or older, and I'd like to send you this card. So I will pick someone from the comments. Don't tell anybody that I'm giving away this card or that I'm going to send it out. Just put the 3 roars in your comments somewhere. And if you're interested in winning the card, then I'll draw a name in, let's say, a week or 2, depending on how many comments I get, how many entries. And I'll announce it in either the next Saturday Morning Makes or in a week or 2 from Saturday Morning Makes, depending on how many people comment or if they're even interested. So as you can see, I'm putting these colors up top here. And what I did was on that bottom one, I started and I used multiple colors. I wasn't happy with it. It got real muddled looking. And I'm sure it's me. I haven't used these pins in like 5 years. And look how they're still wet and juicy. Like they are not dried out. My husband had bought them for my birthday, probably I think like 6 years ago, and I used them once or twice, and I liked them, but I got my Copics and I fell in love, so I hadn't picked up this medium. I used to watercolor a lot with distress inks and actual watercolors, and then I got Copics and I fell in love. But I'm really glad that I revisited these colors or this medium because it was fun. It got me out of my comfort zone. It got me creating again. And it's going to open up things for me to use other images or other styles. So if you have something sitting in your stash I haven't used in a while, pick it up. You might find that you still love it or fall in love with it again, or you might find out you don't like it, but it pushes our creativity. It pushes those boundaries and helps us to grow in our craft, in our hobby. So I just kept going back and I would add a little bit more. And it was a little bit of a slow process, and I let it dry in between. When you see me go back in with the real brush pen with the Arteza pens and then take that water brush, I'm letting it dry in between. So I'll work from one image to the next, and it doesn't take long. I have my heat tool sitting there, but I don't think I ever used it. I think I only used it on the first one. I don't think I used it on these others. And so I'm just about done coloring these guys up. And then I'm going to fussy cut them. I know, fussy cutting. Sometimes I enjoy it though. These are pretty easy images to fussy cut. And then I took a black brush pen, that's a Memento pen, and I outlined the edges of these images. And I already did the other dinosaurs, so you didn't have to watch me do them all. But it really helps with any imperfections in when you fussy cut. That's if you cut on the line. If you leave a white border, I probably wouldn't do this. And they make different colored Memento pens to match their ink. So if you stamped in a different color, it's nice that they do that, because I've done that before with when I use like a sepia color or a brown color or gray. Because that gives a more softer line when you color. What I did was I took a piece of colored cardstock that I had in my stash and attached that to the card base. That's an A2, 4¼ by 5½, side fold card. And then I'm trimming the front panel that we created earlier down by about, I think it's 1/8 of an inch from each side. And then I'm going to fiddle. I'm going to fiddle and decide where I want these dinosaurs, whether I want the darker portion up top or the lighter portion down below. And these hearts go all different directions, so there was really no direction to them. So you have some going up, some going down, some going sideways. And so I was able to do that. And I fiddle and I'm like, do I want to put 3 on there, which I would have liked to have done. I just didn't like the way they fit on there. If I'd done it in a landscape style, I probably could have done that, but I didn't ink blend my ink that way, so that's why I didn't change up that. If you have some big acrylic blocks, these with this glitter paste, it warped a bit, and using liquid glue, I don't know if that really warped it, but I use that a block to weigh it down. I don't always do that. If my cardstock isn't warped, I don't even weigh my stuff down, because that Barely Art glue and the art glitter glue, they're strong. They dry fast. I typically don't have to weigh it down. But this I did. Same with the dinosaurs, especially on top of glitter paste. If you're attaching anything to glitter paste or some sort of embossing paste that you've put through your stencils or added to your cards, the images the foam tape doesn't always want to stick to it. I was able to get this to stick. And you have to use a little bit more glue. It wants to resist it, because remember, that's like most of the time, even though there's glitter in there, it's still slick. It's like a glue. So it needs a little bit more love, and I did weight it down because they were lifting. And then I put the other images, the rocks and the dinosaur, down flat onto the card panel, and then this little, I don't know, what is that, a stegosaurus? Is that what they're called? I popped it up on some foam tape, and I like that 3M foam tape because it's pretty strong, and you can reposition it around before it becomes super permanent. So if you kind of just rest it and move it around, you can pull it up if you need to more easily than some of the other brands, or at least some of the others that I have, which are Amazon brands. So I do like that one, and you can tear it too. And this is some thin foam strips that I got from Amazon, and I took those letters, cut them out, die cut them, and then I added 2 different colors, and I stuck the darker, like more purple color behind the lighter pink color and offset them so it looked like a shadow. And then I'm going in and adding those the foam, because I want the roar to be popped up. And then I'm fiddling, deciding where do I want it. And then I thought to myself, it needs something else. So I looked for a sentiment that was in that stamp set. And that's a waffle flower grip mat. Love it. Don't have to use magnets. Can't say enough good stuff about it. I like it. It's not necessary though. Use tape, use a magnet. Just push your cardstock in the corner and you're all good. I'm heating bossing this one in white. I go in and I do that, and I make another. I do a second one, because if you look, these stamps, because they're put out by Hampton Art for Tracey Hey, I don't know if the ones that are directly from her website now are photopolymer. I believe they are, but these ones aren't, so they're a little bit softer. And so it's really easy to put too much pressure and then distort, especially your sentiments. So I redid it, and I think that one is a little bit cleaner. Then I'm taking my microfiber towel to get some of that embossing powder from the embossing bag up. And then I'm just trimming them down with my paper trimmer. And here you're going to see me, which one did I like better? They didn't look all that different once I had set them to the side, but there was a difference. And then I'm getting my T-square ruler out so that I can make sure my sentiment is nice and straight. And when I was putting that foam tape on the back of those letters, I had scraped my finger, which you guys probably couldn't see because it's so sped up. It wouldn't stop bleeding, so I had to go get a Band-Aid. That's why I have a Band-Aid on now. And I just started cracking up because I was like, oh, I'm going to put the Crayola Band-Aids on. But that's mainly what I have in my house for the littles, is the cutesy Band-Aids. And I'm deciding, where do I want to put the second sentiment? And I had to add a little bit more foam tape behind it. That's what I'm doing there. And then I'm going to trim off that edge. And I love those long shears from Tim Holtz. They are great for trimming anything that's hanging off your card. And then I took that cardstock that we'd used up there in the sentiment for Roar, and I cut some hearts out of it. And I'm going to treat them like little embellishments. And we're going to put 3 of them there. And I used my pickup tool to pick them up and then straighten them out. And I had an ink smudge up top there, and that's a Tombow Mono sand eraser, and it'll get rid of it if it's not too bad. So that's what that was for. Now I'm using a Spectrum Noir clear glitter pen, and I'm adding glitter to the top of those hearts and just to the very top pink letters in Roar, because I still wanted the shadows to appear like shadows and not have that glitter. Those are some clear confetti, what are they called? Sequins? It's a clear confetti mix from Trinity Stamps. And I don't even know what they call it. That was some freebies from some of the other embellishments that I ordered from them. And then I go in on the hearts and I add a little bit of Spectrum Noir sparkle to there, because we gotta sparkle it up to bring in the sparkle from the hearts in the background to other places on the card, right? I don't know, I'm looking for an excuse to use sparkles. But there it is, it's all done. What do you think, guys? Do you like it? I love it. I think it came out really cute. I'd like to do it in different colors. I'm gonna have to make my grandson one, but I'll probably do it in greens and blues because those are his favorite colors. All right, guys, I'll see you next time. Thanks for stopping by, spending time with me. If you enjoyed my video, please like and subscribe. It really helps my channel out, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.